Hey everybody, Sparky here. Been a long day. I'm back home. And I'm trying to eat pizza right now. I was trying to respond to everybody yelling at me on the media. Somebody was asking about how did Boise go. If you didn't see Mentally Mike's on X, go check us out. He has video of it. Or a lot of video of what we're doing. Not all of it, but most of it. It was pretty chill. Like most of the stuff in Idaho is pretty chill. We do have some that ramp up, but they're rare and they're not anything like you would think in Portland because we don't let it go that far. We stop it and then we yell for cops to come help us stop it. We pretty much just neutralize it and try to hold. ISB, come here. We started off not so good. So I walked down the sidewalk trying to get to where Mike was. And I had a couple people scream at me. One person actually said I was Deadpool. I was like, what? I was like, well, apparently you know me. After talking with Mike and stuff, we were walking around. We went back and walked back on the sidewalk away from where the protest is, which the sidewalks here, there's actually borders, there's stairs, and then there's grass, and everything is up there. We're walking on the sidewalk. Now, there was one lady that was following us that had a bullhorn. If you guys know me, I hate fucking bullhorns. I hate them. I don't like them. They're not needed. Why? I'm just putting it out there. She was agonizing a little bit, and so Mike's trying to get through. This little dude actually was trying to put his hands in front, like you can't walk down the sidewalk. When we got to the corner and started walking, and I was like, dude, don't do that. And so there was a couple people, I just put my hand out, just don't do that. Because it's illegal. Just to let you know. And I can defend myself. I'm walking on a sidewalk and you actually step out and do that. And I know. Just saying. So we get all the way down to the very corner. Mike actually wraps around and the guy with the bullhorn's over to my left. And one of the dudes has this little, a wooden stick with a flag, a red flag with a white X on it. And he's waving it like this in front of her face, back and forth. I don't give a shit about that. But I do give a shit about there was two nice elderly ladies trying to walk down the sidewalk. They were citizens. They had nothing to deal with what you're fucking doing. They had no investment one way or the other. They were just walking through our town. And he got within about that far of her face, going like that. And I was like, I put my hand across, like, dude, stop. There's females walking through. Ladies. I'm like, yeah, come on, ladies. He's like, dude, you're going to hit these people. Apparently, between when I told him to stop blocking the sidewalk and from stopping him hitting two nice older ladies walking down the sidewalk trying to get through the block, that pissed him off. So right after that, I actually left, and so Mike went all the way around the edge and up towards the corner of the building to video. I started that way. So when you turn the corner, the sidewalk goes here, and then there's a ramp that goes up. Mike is up here on that ramp. There's another sidewalk that goes straight over and up. When I turned the corner, I saw Mike, and then I looked over, and I saw two liaison officers for Boise PD and a Boise PD officer. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go up there because I want to let them know. It's like these guys are actually trying to block the sidewalk, which is not cool. And they damn near hit some just citizens trying to walk down the sidewalk with their poles, so we should probably warn them of that. Is why I want to go over and talk to the cops. I start walking over there. This little shit that I said don't hit the ladies with the stick jumps in front of me with another retard. It says, nope, nope, nope. I'm like, And so I just like, excuse me, and I just put my hands and I pushed him out a little bit. Kind of like, excuse me. Number one, you can't do that. It's illegal. They turn around and regrouped, and then next thing you know, I have another, and I have 3 behind them, and I have 2 behind me, and I'm like, are we really fucking doing this? I'm like, I'm trying to go up and talk. I basically said, is like, I'm trying to go talk to the cops right now. They're right there. I'm trying to go to them. And he told me, no, I can't go there. Why? This is their area. I'm like, your event is 30 to 40 yards that way. Go over there. I'm going to go over and talk to law enforcement. He said no. If you don't know, if any BLM or Antifa or assholes want to watch this, trust me, as a law enforcement officer, number one, you cannot block a sideway or a sidewalk in the intent to not let citizens walk through that. You cannot tell a citizen he cannot go talk to law enforcement and then surround him, restrain his movements so he cannot talk to law enforcement. You cannot actually surround somebody with an intent to pressure them. I'm gonna use nice words right now. To leave a public sidewalk on City Hall. It's any sidewalk, but especially on City Hall. You're talking about 3 to 4 different legal acts they did while I was trying to walk up to talk to law enforcement. Now, I will say this. These were all young kids, except the one behind me with the fake nose, which was weird. He had glasses with like a fake nose and covering his face, which I knew I need to keep an eye on him. Another guy who was like probably early 50s that walked up and was taking notes of me. And then another lady that went directly under everybody on her knees and was looking at my crotch. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I had my private investigator badge on my thigh holster, and she was trying to read my badge. And I'm like, it's a private investigator badge. I'm like, please read the badge number. It's 01FU. Please read it and tell everybody. They told me I couldn't talk to cops. They said we can go get them and have them come to you because I could not walk up a public sidewalk to City Hall. I said, okay, go ahead. He goes, well, maybe we can actually, meet on terms. I'm like, what terms are you wanting to meet at? And I'm joking with these guys going, this is retarded. You guys are being dumb, and you guys are getting to an area where you don't want to be kind of thing. The guy goes to talk to the cop. The cop looks at him, like we have it on Mike's video. Look at him like, what the hell? He was kind of like, yeah, just, you could tell he was kind of like, he can come up or whatever, and da-da-da, and the guy goes back. Nothing happens. And so I give them a little education, because I was like, are you guys actually from Idaho? And the kid looks at me like I just asked them the hardest question he ever had in college. And I'm like, here's a point. You're going to meet a lot of people in here or coming in this area. They have firearms. They are armed. Do not come up to them like you came up to me. Do not, like, belly bump them. Do not actually push yourself on them. You need an arm's length between you, just like a cop, because I'm carrying a firearm. And he says, is that a threat? I'm like, no. And I'm kind of like just laughing at your response. I'm telling you, you are the threat. If I'm carrying a firearm, my first obligation is to carry it safely. The second obligation is if I have to use it, it's lawfully and safe as possible. The third obligation I have is when I carry it, I am so safe with carrying it, another person cannot grab it and then use it. If you come within arm's length of me, I can defend myself in my space because I have a firearm. In Idaho, do not come up to somebody and try to chest bump them and push them, because if they're carrying a firearm, they can defend themselves to protect the safety of their firearm. The kid looked at me like I just hit the lotto, and he was trying to understand how I did it, and I'm like, you're welcome to Idaho, because apparently you're not from it. I finally looked over, I locked eyes on the cop, and I'm like, can I come over there? And he's like, dude, come here. I'm like, yep, he asked me to come over, move. And so then the seas were parted. I walked over to the law enforcement officers. The little shit I was talking to actually came over, followed me, and stayed within eye shot, or ear range, I should say. And I explained to them, I was like, they were kind of trying to block the sidewalks. That is not good because we have citizens walking through, and it was kind of problematic. They're also using these sticks with these big flags, but they're waving them. Like, a lot of these guys have flags and these little batons. They're not flags. They're wooden batons with just little shitty flags on them. I'm like, they're waving them like crazy, and they almost hit two elderly female citizens just trying to walk through the area. And he was nice enough to actually remind me of, like, hey, if these guys piss you off, please, don't respond and and call us. I'm like, dude, that's why I'm wearing red gloves. If you see a red glove come up and start waving, you better get over there because something's going down. That's why I wore red fucking gloves, so everybody can see them. And I'm like, trust me, I've been here for over a decade dealing with all this bullshit. I'm not here for a fight. I'm here to make sure not only the Patriots are safe, but these protesters are safe. But my number one goal is make sure the citizens of this town are safe and the buildings are protected. Dude was awesome. Dude was fucking awesome. That was the worst part of that whole event. Literally the worst part, which is mild. Again, I don't agree with people going over and causing issues. Is like, let them, as long as they're not, calling for action when they're talking, let them do their thing. If they do that, then we have to go after law enforcement and go, you should stop that. That's a call for action. That is a criminal offense. They did do a little pushy, shovey things with some people, but nothing bad. It was super chill. Nobody got hurt. Nobody got pepper sprayed. Nobody got in a fight. Nobody got anything else. I went over on the other side of the street where all the patrons usually, Patriots line up on the other side of the street. And so City Hall side is all protesters. And we just sit over there until there's an issue, and then we cross the street to solve the issue until the law enforcement can get there. I think I had one person scream at me over the top of her husband, something about Trump. I wasn't sure. She screamed so loud, and it was so Karen. I couldn't understand her, be honest with you. And her husband basically put his head straight down, kind of like, do not get me in a fight with this fucking dude because he will kill me. Literally was his look. I was just kind of like, yeah, you have a good day. I had a couple people go by me and go, or you look dumb. I'm like, I'm just carrying on Halloween, So 3 people, a little group when I first got there. And then I had over 100 people walk down the sidewalk. And everybody walked by me, and I was like, how you doing, sir? You having a great day? Good day, ladies? That sort of thing. Greeted everybody the same fucking way because I'm a Idahoan, and I respect everybody. Everybody responded in kind. There was a couple people asked what the protest was, and I was like, it was about ICE, going after illegal aliens, basically. And they went, do you know, do they even know what state they're in? I'm like, I don't know if they do because I don't think a lot of them are from the state. They all laughed. It was funny. Over 100 normal citizens walking down a sidewalk, either just walking down it or going to the theater or what have you. All of them were kind of like, this is dumb. I'm like, yeah, I know. And I appreciate probably like 70% of them thanked me for being there and making sure everybody was safe. That was very cool. I had a couple of people ask me, I was like, are you a law enforcement officer? Are you a cop here in Boise? And I'm like, no. I'm like, number one, I'm too cool because I'm wearing a black Stetson. Boise isn't allowed to wear a black Stetson. They should be, Mayor. Just saying. But I explained to him, like, no, my badge is a private investigator badge. And that sort of thing. And that, I'm just a retired law enforcement officer. I come out to make sure everybody's safe. My contacts with the citizens were amazing. And then I got to talk with the Motor Patrol, the Boise Police Department, motors, the bike guys. Love those guys. Sarge was a little grumpy today. I'll put that out there. But I also have to say, he was dealing with a lot of people doing a lot of dumb shit right in front of me. He was like pulling people over, get out of here, go that way, doing a circle. Just it was like no, it was a constant. I understand why he was a little grumpy, but it was good talking to those guys. Those guys are awesome. But yeah, so everybody asking about the protests. It was chill. I only had one little, and it was literally talking with juveniles. So I couldn't really. Could I have actually grabbed them and just moved them out of my way? Yes, I could. When the gal came down and actually put her head towards my crotch, could I actually defend myself? Like, what the fuck you doing? Yes, I could. When the guy came up behind me, it stood at right behind me, and so I was totally circled. Could I have done something because I had to protect what I had on? Yes, I could. Did I have to? No, because I trust my training, and I trust my reflections, and I trust how I can deal with multiple assailants that I did not do that. There is no reason for me to overreact when I know I already planned an avenue out. I already planned how to do something if something went bad. That's why I didn't do anything. Again, the reason why, if you're not trained and you're going into a situation like that, be careful carrying a firearm. If you're not trained and you don't know what you're doing, be careful going in the middle of the crowd. That's the big thing. But again, Idaho approved. We know how to do a peaceful protest, or at least we know how to make people have a peaceful protest. I should put it that way. Idahoans make sure people just have peaceful protests because we won't stand for anything else. Everybody have a good one. I'll talk to you later. See ya.